So how did that Brown University gunman go from being a top student in his home country of Portugal to a cold-blooded killer here in the United States? Claudio Neves Valente studied at the prestigious engineering school in Lisbon and reportedly graduated at the top of his class. The Wall Street Journal talked to a former prof who said the shooter got a near-perfect grade in his quantum field theory class. But when Neves Valente moved to the United States and started studying at Brown, he struggled to adjust. Scott Watson was a grad student at the time and said that he was essentially Neves Valente's only friend and that the future gunman was often, quote, frustrated. Scott joins me now. Scott, thank you for joining us tonight. This must just be so wild for you to have experienced yourself and watching this unfold over the last week or so. Tell us more what he was like and why you think he felt isolated or that he didn't have many friends.
Well, so good evening, Laura. And I would like to start by saying I feel bad for the family of the victims. And this has been a bit disturbing. I also would like to point out the facts. I last talked to him in 2003. So I can only speak about what he was doing during the years 2000 to 2003. But what I've recalled by talking to various people, including the FBI, you have to remember these things in retrospect. And he was always angry, isolated, and overqualified for the program.
So he was brilliant. So he was a brilliant individual, was he not?
Yes. He had all the knowledge to complete all the courses before he got to Brown.
Wow. And his frustration, was it ever manifest in any particular way that you observed or you can remember all these years later?
Yeah. Yes. Again, by talking to people and doing interviews, what I forgot about was in particular, there was a Brazilian student in our class as well, and he would refer to him as a slave every time he would come into the classroom. And one time they got in a fight and I had to break it up. Of course, Portugal had a, slave colony in Brazil. So he would take advantage of that and insult him. He would insult everybody else. He would insult the town of Providence. That's who he was. The way I got through to him was him and I were both introverts. And yet I went up to him to try to have a conversation with him. He, of course, pushed me away. But the next week he came up and we sort of became friends. We would go to dinners. He taught me about Portuguese food.
Scott, when the MIT professor Nuno Loureiro, who was so esteemed worldwide, nuclear fusion, physics, just a brilliant individual as well, when you saw his picture, I believe you said he looked familiar to you. Why is that?
I've managed to clarify this a bit since my CNN interview. He came to give a seminar when he was at Princeton, and that's why the face looked familiar. As you know, hopefully from the CNN interview, I did state that I didn't know anything besides that. So I think it's a coincidence. I think the shooting there, I think, is due to the fact that what happened back in Portugal. But the main thing I think is important is he blames Brown and the MIT professor for the failures in his life. And the other, I don't know how interesting this is, but the way I know this is him, the pacing video where he puts his hands behind his back, he used to do that in the hallways of Brown when he was thinking about something.
Wow. I mean, well, Scott, you're right to remember the victims. Ella Cook's funeral was today in Birmingham. Yeah. And she was only 18 years of age. Victims have to be first and foremost in our minds with our prayers and our thoughts. Scott, thank you for these reflections all these years later. It is just unreal. I can't even imagine how you're processing this.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.